All right, you guys, you know that this is Raw Detroit, and over here we're going to keep it raw, and we're going to tell the truth. And if you don't like the truth about the Lions, then you might not want to come to this channel. You might want to unsubscribe. But you're looking at the blame game right now going on in Detroit. There's many fingers pointing at everybody. You got fingers pointing at Brad Holmes. You got fingers pointing at Aaron Glenn. You have fingers pointing at Dan Campbell. The way he ultimately keeps going for these fourth downs. The injured players that Brad Holmes has brought onto the team that can't help us. And then some of his indecisive decisions that he made as well. And what I mean by indecisive, bringing back guys like Alex Anzalone, bringing back guys like Tim Boyle and David Blah, even though eventually we did part ways with them, but they should have never been on this roster, period. We wasted the fans' time. Everybody has gotten on the hype train, and everybody was drinking the Kool-Aid, and Hard Knocks was on. And yeah, Hard Knocks was nothing but just to sell tickets, to get the fans back into the stadium. Now you see the realization that you may not possibly win another football game. Now, I'm not going to say that the Lions are not going to win another game, but possibly you could lose the rest of the football games the rest of this season. Like I told you before, a lot of people talk about how the schedule was favorable for the Detroit Lions. And I said, you can never look at the situation as being favorable for the Detroit Lions. We are the Detroit Lions. We do what we do best. And what is that? It's to lose football games. You go to New England today and get embarrassed. Your offense gets pretty much shut down today. If you look at what the Patriots were doing, the play that they threw, that the defensive back got the interception on, they knew that the Lions were going to go back to that play again. Hockenson got a touchdown off that last week. This time, they read it. And the guy in the safety comes in and intercepts the ball. Now, you're looking at all these fingers being pointed, and rightfully so. You draft injury-prone players that can't help us. The defense is terrible. There's a lot of finger pointing and a lot of blame that this team, and some even say that Dan Campbell has already lost the locker room. The Lions could possibly win 4 games this season. Even if that, they possibly could lose the rest of the games for the rest of the season. See, I never like to drink the Kool-Aid that the Lions are stirring up. I always look at the Lions as a wait-and-see approach. You got guys on our team that still are not developed yet. We got Derek Barnes on our squad who should be way better than what he is. And I'm not blaming Derek Barnes, so don't get me misconstrued. What I'm saying is that he should be further along on the defense in year 2. You got a 6th-round rookie in Malcolm Rodriguez giving you all that he got. He's a 6th-round pick. You don't expect much out of 6th-round pick. But nowadays, I guess you kind of need to have that on your mind because, you know what? Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick. And now is going to go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. You have not won a football game in New England. Hear me out, Detroit Lions fans. Since 1993. 29 years ago, 29 years and counting now, because you didn't win today, you lost, and they gave you the goose egg on today, 29-0. Shut you out. What did I say at the beginning of the season? That the Lions cannot stop the run. Back-to-back games, Rashard Penny, 151 yards on the ground rushing. Today, a career best by Ramondre Stevens. By Ramondre Stevenson. 161 yards rushing off 25 carries. You can't be serious. You can't be serious. What is going on in Detroit, man? I mean, I'm at a point where right now, I think that the Force should sell the team, man. And I know that they're not going to sell the team. This team has been horrible under the Ford's leadership and management. They need to sell it. Change the colors too. Make the colors gold and blue, kind of like the UCLA colors, because a lion is actually a beige tan color, not silver. No, I'm just nitpicking, y'all. I'm just playing with y'all. I'm just nitpicking on that. But come on, guys. The realization of the blame game is going on right now in Detroit. The players are not trusting or not buying in. You can't get performances out of your top draft pick. We're barely getting the pressure that we should be applying to teams on a weekly basis. We prioritize drafting a wide receiver over taking a linebacker. And yeah, I said it. We took a wide receiver over taking the linebacker, which we needed bad. And then you have the fans in your comment section telling you you don't know football. You don't know this. You don't know that. You're a YouTube GM. Blah, 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 blah. All this different stuff. But then when you see the games on Sunday and you see the results of the game, it makes you want to take everything that you said back. Because you know the realization of this team is going to hit you like a ton of bricks. You know that it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. We should be tired as a fan base seeing this Detroit Lions football team lose every single week. Everybody else is getting better, and we're not. We're not getting better. The Giants, better. Jets, better. We got to play them. The Giants beat the Patriots. I mean, not the Patriots, but the Packers on today. They're a better football team. Saquon Barkley, tip-top shape right now. Number one running back in the league right now. But when you look at your Detroit Lions and you see the progress of the Lions, we're not going anywhere. We're stagnant. And then you hear fans make the excuses of it's just year 2 of a rebuild. You should be winning more games. You should not be close to winning no 3 games on a season. You should be winning more football games. Why do we accept being mediocre and mediocrity in Detroit? Why? I can't understand it for the life of me. I gotta keep it raw. I gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it a hundo with you. You may not win another football game this season. I know that it looks like we should beat the Chicago Bears. I know that we're waiting on J-Mo to come back. But just because Jameson Williams comes back, that doesn't mean that we're going to run the table. It doesn't mean that. Our defense is trash. It's horrible. Brad Holmes has to take some responsibility in getting Aaron Glenn the personnel that he has on this roster. In year 2 of the rebuild, you were ultimately supposed to go out as a GM and get impactful players on this football team. Nobody's making an impact, man. Can't you see this? Even Stevie Wonder or Ray Charles can see this. And shout out to them for making great music. They can see this. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. How long, guys, do we gotta continue to be mediocre? How long? It doesn't take 3 to 4 years to rebuild a football team. It only takes getting the right personnel in Detroit. Because you drafted injured players, now you got to double back in 2023 and get all defense again. And again. It doesn't make any sense. You can point the fingers at Dan Campbell and the coaching staff for not getting it done. Not getting these players prepared to go out and play football on Sunday. You can blame Brad Holmes for not bringing the personnel and the talent in here. We should have never brought back Alex Anzalone. We should have never brought Tim Boyles back to this roster. And people tell you about the quarterback. We don't need a quarterback. You still need a backup quarterback. Hello? You still need a backup quarterback. I'm not saying that Jared Goff needs to lose his job, but you still got to think about the future. If you're a great GM, you think about the future. Your GM comes out and says that he doesn't find value in getting a linebacker in the early rounds. But when I do the math and when I look at everything, some of the top linebackers have been drafted in the first round. Patrick Willis, Luke Kuechly, Lawrence Taylor, Ray Lewis. But there's no value in linebackers in Detroit. Linebackers don't matter in Detroit. It's what I've been told. It's what I've been told by fans. We don't need linebackers. That's baloney, dog. That's a hell of beans, man. You need linebackers. They matter. You need guys that can stop the run. Guys that can cover tight ends. Are they going to make mistakes in the game? Yes, they will. Are you going to give up plays sometimes? Yes, you will. It's part of football. You can't stop everything. Now you got the blame game going on in Detroit, where everybody gets to get blamed now. The only person that you don't really look at right now is Ben Johnson, because Ben Johnson he's been doing fine. Today was his first game. Today was Jared Goff's first game of having a bad day. Matt Patricia gets revenge against the Lions, and you know that he's laughing all the way to the bank with this one, telling you that it wasn't me, it's this crappy organization who can't win football games. It doesn't matter what coach comes in here. Nobody's been able to change the Detroit Lions. We have had a carousel of coaches come in here, and we still cannot win football games. So that's why we got to get first-year GMs and first-year coaches, because no other guy that's established in the National Football League is knocking down the doors to come build this franchise. I am sick and tired of the losing in Detroit. You should be sick and tired of the losing as a fan. And I'm only keeping it 100 with you guys. I'm only keeping it as real as possible. You should be tired of this. Now you got to waste another draft on draft pick. This is a setback. You're looking at a 2 to 3 year setback with the Lions. Because you got to see how the players that you draft next year is going to pan out. You don't know how these guys are going to pan out. You have no idea how the draft picks that you're going to get are going to pan out. Now you got to double back again and get all defense. We took all defense in 2022, but except 2 players. Now you got to do it. You got to redo it. You got to hit the reset button and do it again. You got to get another defensive end, another defensive tackle, linebackers, safety, corner. Why do we keep going around in circles in Detroit? Look at the draft history, guys. We're not panning out. Our guys are not panning out. Our guys don't pan out. Then they go to another team and they start balling. What is the problem in Detroit? Seriously, somebody tell me in the comment section, what do you think is the real problem in Detroit? Because it doesn't matter what head coach we get. It doesn't matter what GM comes in here. Nobody has been able to change this franchise, guys. Come on, man. Wake up. Nobody. So right now, we're playing the blame game. We're pointing fingers, saying, nah, boo-boo. It's you, Aaron Glenn. You're the problem. It's you, Brad Holmes. You're the problem. It's you, Dan Campbell. You're the problem. Now we're playing the blame game in Detroit. We're tired as fans, man. We want to win. And we knew that we wasn't going to the playoffs this year. I knew that this team wasn't going to the playoffs. But you just want to win 7, 8 games to see that you're going in the right direction. You may not win no more than 4 football games this year. Or you may not win another football game. This is your reality, Detroit. And I got to keep it raw. And I got to keep it a hundo. This is your reality in Detroit. There's nobody coming to save us. We ain't got no talent on defense. And I know some people are going to say, it doesn't matter the talent. Yes, it does. The personnel matters. Effort. Who is the players out there giving an effort? When you go against the Detroit Lions, who out there you can say scares you? Nobody on defense. Not even Hutch right now. He's a rookie, and I can't even fault Hutchinson. Nobody scares you on defense. There's no dog that's relentless and that's going to bite you before he bark. So now we play the blame game. It's the blame game. Blame it on everybody. Fire everyone. I'm just keeping it real, guys. You guys should be tired of this as fans. And I know you guys love this football team. I want to see this football team win. I was a young man liking the Detroit Lions. I am a grown man now with kids. And this team still hasn't changed anything. What do we have to look forward to in 2023? Is we're going to draft more injury-prone players? We didn't need a wide receiver, and this is showing you that. And this is no knock to Jameson Williams. I got no gripe with him. I love Jameson Williams. He is a dog. We needed defense, linebackers, studs, Devin Lloyd, Nakobe Dean, Jordan Davis, just to name a few names, Chad Muma. We needed defense. But not just any type of defense. We need guys that can play. And I still say that to this day, that the Detroit Lions need premium talent, guys. The Lions need premium talent in Detroit. And this is no lie. Until that defense gets better, this team is not going anywhere. You can see that you can have the number one offense in the NFL, put up 45 points and still lose the football game. Can't you see that? It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. It don't mean nothing. This offense means nothing if the defense can't keep anybody or can't keep anybody from scoring or stop anybody, period. This defense is historically horrible. And they all have to own up to how the Lions are performing right now. Brad Holmes got to take a part in this. Dan Campbell has to take a part in this. Aaron Glenn has to take a part in this. You are on staff together. You got to take a part of this. Don't you want to see W's in Detroit? Aren't you tired of being hyped up every offseason? If you love the truth, that's what Raw Detroit is all about. If you want somebody that's going to sugarcoat stuff to you and say how wonderful we are and we got a chance to win the NFC North title and we're going to beat this team, blah, 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 we're going to do that. This ain't the channel for you. If you don't like my raw way of putting things, this ain't the channel for you. This is Raw Detroit, man, and I got to keep it a hundo. I am tired as a fan base seeing this team struggle year in and year out. All we do is argue amongst each other. Somebody doesn't like what you say or they don't like how you put things, then they argue with you. You're wrong. You don't know football. You don't know this. You don't know that. Okay, if I don't know anything, then why don't you put out the content? Why don't you talk to the people? I told you in my State of the Franchise video, the things that the Lions need to fix. Being able to score in the red zone. Being able to stop the run. Being able to cover tight ends. Those are weaknesses that this team had. You got your safety, Deshaun Elliott, getting 12 tackles. You wonder why Tracy Walker leads the team in tackles. Because the running back is getting to the second level of the defense just about all day long. Where the dogs at on this team? Where my dogs at on this team? Where's the guys that's going to get an effort every single week, week in and week out? Where are the playmakers at on defense? Where they at? Somebody tell me where the playmakers at in Detroit, because I don't know. I don't know football. I don't know where the playmakers are at. But I'm sick and tired of seeing this team lose every week. You went to New England and got embarrassed today by a rookie quarterback that was 17 out of 21 through one touchdown pass. You got ripped up by the running back on today. You have given up over 400 some yards rushing, close to 500 yards rushing in the last 2 weeks. What are we doing in Detroit, man? Somebody please tell me. Somebody please let me know. What are we doing? I know people want to talk about how elite Jared Goff has been and how great he's been playing. And yes, I give him a pat on the back. He has been playing well. Today was his first bad game. It takes a unit. It takes a team to play as a unit to win football games in the National Football League. And the Detroit Lions don't look like a unit. So you know what we're doing? We're blaming everybody. It's the blame game. I'll be back to you soon with another video. I'm out of here. Peace.